Hello, my friends. Welcome to English Story with Irfan. I am very happy that you are here today. This podcast is a place where you can improve your English while learning valuable life lessons. So find a comfortable place, relax, and enjoy this journey with me. Today's topic is how to be positive every day. Now, before we begin, I want to tell you something important. Being positive does not mean that you have to be happy all the time. It does not mean that you never feel sad. It does not mean that you never have problems. Every person has difficult days. Every person faces challenges. Even successful people sometimes feel tired, worried, or disappointed. Being positive means something different. It means choosing a healthy way to think. It means believing that tomorrow can be better than today. It means looking for solutions instead of only focusing on problems. And the good news is this: positivity is not a special talent. It is a habit. And habits can be learned. So today, let's learn together how we can become more positive every day. Are you ready? Let's begin. What does it mean to be positive? When you hear the word positive, what comes to your mind? Maybe you imagine a person who is always smiling. Maybe you think about someone who is always happy. Or maybe you think positive people never feel sad. But is that really true? The answer is no. Many people misunderstand positivity. They believe that positive people live perfect lives. They believe that positive people never have bad days. But that is not reality. Positive people have problems too. They make mistakes. They fail. They feel stressed. They feel disappointed. They feel sad sometimes. The difference is not the problems they face. The difference is how they respond to those problems. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine that you wake up late in the morning. You rush out of your house. You run to the bus stop, but the bus leaves before you arrive. Now, you have two choices. The first choice is negative thinking. You say, "Why does this always happen to me? My day is ruined. Nothing ever goes right." Because of these thoughts, you feel angry and frustrated for the rest of the day. Now let's look at the second choice, positive thinking. You say, "That's unfortunate. I missed the bus. But I will find another way. Tomorrow I will wake up a little earlier." The problem is exactly the same, but the reaction is different. A positive person does not ignore the problem. A positive person accepts the problem and looks for a solution. This is the real meaning of positivity. Let me share another example. Imagine that you take an important exam. You study hard, you do your best, but when the results come out, you fail. Of course, you will feel disappointed. That feeling is normal. Being positive does not mean pretending everything is fine. Being positive means saying, "Yes, I failed. Yes, I feel disappointed, but I can learn from this experience. I can improve. I can try again." Positive people understand something very important. Every mistake can teach us something. Every challenge can help us grow. Every failure can become a lesson. Think about a baby learning to walk. Does the baby fall down? Yes, many times. But does the baby stop trying? No. The baby stands up and tries again. That is a beautiful example of positivity, not perfection. Persistence, not always winning, always learning. So, if you want to become a more positive person, remember this simple idea. Positivity is not about having a perfect life. Positivity is about having a hopeful mindset. It is about believing that things can improve. It is about focusing on possibilities instead of limitations. And most importantly, it is about choosing your attitude every day. Before we continue, I want you to think about this question. When something goes wrong in your life, how do you usually react? Do you focus on the problem, or do you look for a solution? Take a moment to think about your answer. Your answer may tell you a lot about your current mindset. And remember, you do not have to become positive overnight. Small changes in your thinking can create big changes in your life. One thought at a time. One day at a time. We learned that being positive does not mean having a perfect life. It means choosing a healthy mindset, even when life is difficult. But now we have an important question. If positivity is so helpful, why is it so difficult to stay positive every day? Why do negative thoughts appear so easily? Why do we sometimes focus on problems instead of possibilities? Well, there are several reasons. Let's explore them together. Our brain naturally notices problems. First, we need to understand something about the human brain. Our brain is designed to protect us. Long ago, our ancestors lived in dangerous environments. They had to watch for wild animals, natural disasters, and other threats. Because of this, the human brain developed a habit. It pays more attention to danger than to comfort. It notices problems faster than positive things. This is completely normal. For example, imagine that 10 people give you compliments. They say nice things about you. But one person criticizes you. Which comment will you remember the most? For many people, it is the criticism, not the compliments. Why? Because the brain often focuses on negative information. This does not mean something is wrong with you. It simply means you are human. The good news is that we can train our minds. Just like we train our muscles through exercise, we can train our thinking through practice. The influence of our environment. Another reason positivity is difficult is our environment. The people and information around us affect our thoughts. Imagine spending time with someone who complains all day. No matter what happens, they find something negative to say. The weather is too hot. The weather is too cold. The food is not good enough. Their job is terrible. Their life is unfair. If you listen to this every day, it can slowly affect your mindset. Negativity can spread from one person to another. The same is true for positive people. When you spend time with people who are hopeful, grateful, and encouraging, their attitude can inspire you. That is why choosing your environment is important. The people around you can influence the way you think. Today, many people spend hours on social media. Social media can be useful. It can help us learn new things. It can help us connect with others. But it can also create problems. Many people only share the best parts of their lives online. They post beautiful photos. They share achievements. They show happy moments. But they rarely show their struggles. As a result, we start comparing our lives to theirs. We think everyone is happier than me. Everyone is more successful than me. Everyone is living a better life. But remember this. You are comparing your real life to someone else's highlight reel. You see your everyday reality, but you only see their best moments. Comparison often steals happiness. Instead of comparing yourself to others, compare yourself to the person you were yesterday. Focus on your own growth. Focus on your own journey. Another reason positivity is difficult is because complaining can become a habit. Sometimes people complain without even noticing it. They complain in the morning. They complain at work. They complain before going to bed. At first, complaining may feel good. It allows us to express frustration, but when complaining becomes a daily habit, it changes the way we see the world. We begin looking for problems everywhere. We focus on what is missing. We focus on what is wrong. And eventually, negativity becomes our default way of thinking. Let's imagine two people. The first person wakes up and immediately says, "I'm tired. This day will be difficult. I don't want to work." The second person wakes up and says, "I'm tired, but I will do my best today. I have challenges, but I can handle them." Both people face the same day, but their mindset is different, and that difference affects their experience. Let me tell you a short story. There was a man named David. Every morning he started his day with complaints. He complained about traffic. He complained about work. He complained about his co-workers. He complained about the weather. Over time, he became more stressed and unhappy. One day, a friend gave him a challenge. For 1 week, he had to find 3 good things every day. At first, it felt strange, but he tried. On the first day, he was grateful for a good cup of coffee. On the second day, he was grateful for a conversation with a friend. On the third day, he was grateful that he arrived home safely. Slowly, his perspective began to change. His problems did not disappear. His life was not suddenly perfect, but he started noticing the good things that had always been there. And because of that, he felt happier and more positive. I would like you to think about these questions. What are the biggest sources of negativity in your life? Are they negative thoughts, negative people, social media, stress, or perhaps the habit of complaining? Take a moment to reflect. Understanding the source of negativity is the first step toward becoming more positive. Remember this: you cannot always control what happens around you, but you can learn to control how you respond, and that small change can make a big difference in your life. Now that we understand why negativity appears so easily, let's talk about something practical. How can we become more positive in our daily lives? The truth is that positivity is not built in one day. It is built through small habits. Small actions, repeated every day, can slowly change the way we think. Here are 5 simple habits that can help you develop a more positive mindset. Habit number 1. Start your day with gratitude. The way you begin your morning can influence the rest of your day. Many people wake up and immediately think about their problems. They think about unfinished work. They think about bills. They think about stress. As a result, they begin the day with negative energy. Instead, try starting your morning with gratitude. Before checking your phone, before opening social media, take a moment to think about 3 things you are grateful for. They do not have to be big things. In fact, simple things are often the most meaningful. You might say, "I am grateful for my family. I am grateful for my health. I am grateful for another opportunity to live and learn." Gratitude changes your focus. Instead of thinking about what you lack, you begin noticing what you already have. And when you appreciate what you have, positivity grows naturally. Habit number 2. Change the way you talk to yourself. Have you ever noticed how you speak to yourself? Sometimes we become our own worst critics. We say things like, "I'm not good enough. I always fail. I can't do this." Imagine saying these words to yourself every day. How would you feel? Probably discouraged and unmotivated. Words have power, especially the words we say to ourselves. Positive people are not people who never doubt themselves. They simply choose better words. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," try saying, "This is difficult, but I can learn," instead of saying, "I failed." Try saying, "I didn't succeed this time, but I gained experience." Notice the difference. The situation is the same, but the message is different. Positive self-talk builds confidence, and confidence helps us face challenges with courage. Habit number 3. Reduce negative input. Think of your mind as a garden. Whatever you plant will grow. If you constantly fill your mind with negativity, negativity will grow. If you fill your mind with positivity, positivity will grow. Today, many people consume negative content for hours every day. Bad news, online arguments, constant criticism, endless comparisons on social media. Of course, it is important to stay informed, but it is also important to protect your mental energy. Ask yourself, what kind of content am I feeding my mind? Try spending less time on content that makes you feel anxious, angry, or hopeless. Instead, spend more time listening to inspiring stories, reading useful books, learning new skills, or having meaningful conversations. Your mind becomes stronger when you choose healthier input. Habit number 4. Celebrate small wins. Many people only celebrate big achievements. They think, "I will be happy when I get promoted. I will be happy when I earn more money. I will be happy when I reach my goal." But sometimes those goals take months or even years. If happiness only comes at the finish line, the journey becomes very difficult. Positive people understand the value of small victories. Maybe today you finished an important task. Maybe you learned 5 new English words. Maybe you exercised for 10 minutes. Maybe you stayed calm during a stressful situation. These may seem small, but small successes create momentum, and momentum creates progress. When you celebrate small wins, you remind yourself that growth is happening, even if it is slow. Remember this: big achievements are usually built from many small achievements. Habit number 5. Help other people. One of the fastest ways to feel better is to help someone else. Kindness has a powerful effect. When you encourage another person, you also strengthen your own positivity. Helping others does not always require money. Sometimes it is as simple as listening, offering support, sharing knowledge, giving a compliment, or helping someone solve a problem. A small act of kindness can completely change someone's day, and often it changes ours as well. Positive people understand that life is not only about receiving, it is also about giving. The more kindness we share, the more positivity we create around us. Take a moment and think about these 5 habits. Gratitude, positive self-talk, reducing negative input, celebrating small wins, helping others. None of these habits require special talent. None of them require a lot of money. Anyone can start today. Even one small change can make a difference. You do not need to practice all 5 habits at once. Choose one. Focus on it for a few days, then add another, and another. Over time, these small habits will become part of your daily life. And when that happens, positivity will no longer feel like something you are trying to achieve. It will become part of who you are. Positivity is a daily choice. At this point, you might be thinking, these habits sound simple. And you are right, they are simple. But simple does not always mean easy. There will be days when gratitude feels difficult. There will be days when positive thoughts do not come naturally. There will be days when life feels heavy. That is normal. In fact, one of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that positive people are positive all the time. They are not. Nobody is. Every person experiences sadness. Every person experiences disappointment. Every person has moments of fear, doubt, and frustration. Even the most successful people in the world have difficult days. The difference is not that they avoid negative emotions. The difference is that they do not allow those emotions to control their entire lives. They acknowledge their feelings, they learn from them, and then they keep moving forward. This is an important lesson. Positivity is not about pretending. It is not about ignoring reality. It is not about forcing yourself to smile when you are hurting. True positivity means facing reality with hope. It means believing that a difficult moment is not the end of your story. Many people give up because they expect perfection. They think, if I have one bad day, I have failed. If I feel negative sometimes, I am not positive enough. But life does not work that way. Progress is more important than perfection. Imagine that you want to improve your English. Will you become fluent in one day? Of course not. You improve little by little, one word at a time, one conversation at a time, one lesson at a time. Positivity works in the same way. You improve little by little, one thought at a time, one habit at a time, one day at a time. Small improvements may not seem important today, but over weeks, months, and years, they create remarkable changes. Let me share a simple story. Two friends were walking through a forest. Suddenly, they encountered a large fallen tree blocking the path. The first friend looked at the tree and immediately said, "This is impossible. We should go back. There is no way forward." The second friend looked at the same tree and said, "This is a problem. But let's see if there is another path." The obstacle was exactly the same. The situation was exactly the same. But their mindset was different. One saw only a barrier. The other saw a challenge. One focused on what was impossible. The other focused on what might be possible. And because of that difference, one stopped moving while the other continued the journey. Life often works in a similar way. We cannot control every obstacle. We cannot control every disappointment. We cannot control every challenge, but we can choose how we respond. Every day, we make choices. We choose what to focus on. We choose the words we speak to ourselves. We choose whether to hold on to hope or give in to despair. These choices may seem small, but small choices shape our future. Perhaps today is not perfect. Perhaps this week has been difficult. Perhaps you are carrying worries that nobody else can see. Even so, there is still something you can choose. You can choose gratitude. You can choose kindness. You can choose patience. You can choose learning instead of quitting. You can choose hope. And sometimes, that single choice is enough to change the direction of your day. Before we finish, I want you to remember one simple message. You do not need a perfect life to be a positive person. You do not need perfect circumstances. You do not need perfect results. Positivity begins with a decision to keep going, a decision to keep learning, a decision to keep believing that better days are possible. Life will always have obstacles, but life also has opportunities. Life will always have difficulties, but life also has beauty. What we focus on often becomes our experience. So choose carefully where you place your attention. Choose growth over fear. Choose hope over doubt. Choose possibilities over limitations. And most importantly, choose positivity. Not once, but every day. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope this episode helped you practice your English and inspired you to see life from a more positive perspective. Remember, a positive life is not built in one day. It is built one positive choice at a time. This is English Story with Irfan. Keep learning, keep growing, and I will see you in the next story.